Hey friends, Patrick here. I'm back for your singles love reading. I apologize, this is a couple of days later than I hoped and I think I promised when I did the weekly review or the weekly tarot reading at the beginning of the week. So what we'll do today, we will pull 3 cards for your other person, for your person, 3 cards for you, and then 3 cards that will kind of be recommendations or actions to be taken, and then we'll do 1 or 2 for like an outcome too. And I've also got the Pride Tarot deck to do some clarifications if needed. So we'll get a good sense as to, what your person's energy might be. We'll talk about your energy maybe, and that might highlight some things you want to work through in advance of connecting with this person, or it could also shed some light as to why something isn't going particularly well, or maybe it is going very well with a particular person. So we'll kind of see what the cards tell us. And we'll start by pulling 3 cards for your person. Cut the deck here. All right, first card. We have the Sun. Sun card. The 6 of Wands. This is your person. And the King of Pentacles. Wow, that's really good. That's really nice. Okay, let's pull 3 cards to represent your energy. The 9 of Cups, like it. The Hermit. Oh, nice. Okay, the Ace of Wands. Cool. Very good, very good. And then let's pull 3 cards representing like actions to be taken. You can think of it as action steps to take. You can think of it as advice, or even if you want to think about it as like the outcome. First one here, the Lovers. I mean, could that get much better? If you were thinking outcome, that's the perfect card to have there, right? The Hierophant. Well, this is pretty good. And you saw me shuffle, so I didn't mess this up, or I didn't rig this. The Ace of Swords. And then let's pull 1 card to kind of represent the overall outcome. And we have the High Priestess. Okay, so right off the bat, let's get a couple of things here. So let's talk about your person. Your person, and this could be male or female, right? So I don't necessarily apply genders to some of the cards, but it does apply, these 3 cards apply to your person. So, hey, the Sun card, I mean, does it get much better than this? It's the 19th card in the deck. Look at that baby. The baby's naked. He's riding on a white horse. The white horse kind of representing purity. The fact that the baby is exposing all, he's not afraid. He's really having a great time too. And sunflowers are represented here. And typically sunflowers will often point to the sun. They're drawn to the heat. They're drawn to the energy. So this is attraction, I think. So your person is deeply attracted to you. They are, maybe you're the sun and they are the sunflower, or vice versa. Whatever you are, there's a definite attraction and pull here for this particular person. But I mean, as with all things representing the sun, it's warm. It's just very positive light, very positive energy, excitement. Just an overall great feeling. Plus, it's very energetic too. Like there's a certain, as we know, right? The sun, the plants need the sun to generate energy. And so I think that what the sun is representing in this person is really like enlivening. They are exciting. They bring out some of the better things in you, some of the best things. They give you energy. They make you feel excited. And they're excited too. So it feels really great there. The 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands tends to represent kind of like recognition and appreciation. This person's going to really appreciate and recognize you. They recognize all the value that you have, all the value that you bring to a relationship. They recognize and appreciate everything about you, really. They realize that, you're something special. You're not really, just like the average person. So, I think that they're kind of recognizing that, which is phenomenal, right? The King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, this is somebody who's a provider. He's also very financially secure. So this particular person that you're attracting and you're engaging with already, if you're already engaging with them, great. If you're not, this is the person you will be engaging with. This is somebody who's established. This is somebody who has a financial security and baseline. They feel secure to me. So I think this is another great thing to have. You're not getting a floozy. You're not getting somebody who's going to be looking at you for your money. And that comes back to this too, right? They're not looking at you for your money. They have their own financial stability, and they're bringing a lot to you. And then they're really understanding and seeing your value. So that's a great kind of person to connect with. So energy for this particular person, very, very strong, right? You representing your energy. The first card I got here was the Nine of Cups. If you know much about the Nine of Cups, I mean, look at this guy. Look at him. He's definitely a pretty fat guy. That kind of represents like exuberance, and it also represents some of his overindulgence, right? So he's indulging in some of the finer things of life, the reds and the purples in the card. There is some degree of royalty, but also living the good life. All of the cups, of course, I always think of like he's had a lot of wine. It's kind of what I think of when I see this card, particularly because he's in a purple, attire with all those cups standing behind him. So it's also known as the wish card, right? So this is like, hey, make a wish. But you're feeling good. You're feeling abundant. You're feeling strong in a position of strength. And you're also feeling quite content and happy, just as he is in this particular card. If you believe, and maybe you should, that you attract what you are, then being happy and content is definitely a good thing to be, because you will attract happy and content, right? So overall, your energy is great. I think the Hermit is probably, maybe you're doing some meditation, maybe you're doing some inward reflection, and maybe that's kind of where you've been. You're thinking about, where you are, what you want. You're very clear on that. Doing some meditation. Meditation can often bring answers. So meditation is about quieting your mind, but it's also kind of just about letting go of some of the thought patterns that we think about, right? So when you quiet your mind, you kind of release resistance. And sometimes when you're meditating, you'll get insights that you might not have even thought about, or might not have been clear to you before, because you're kind of allowing those to come in. You're not busy thinking about, the bills you have to pay online, the emails you have to respond to, the text message that you need to reply to, the errands that you need to do later, and getting gas in the car, all those things, right? So meditation can be, a great way to kind of let some of these thoughts and insights just pop to you. So it's also good to very quiet your mind. I find it phenomenally beneficial. And, if there's any interest, I can certainly kind of go into that more in another video and talk more about that. So again, I think, the Hermit might be taking some time to himself. So maybe right now, this tells me is like, maybe you're not seeing somebody right now, but this particular person you're attracting or that's coming into your experience is somebody represented by the Sun, the Six of Wands, and the King of Pentacles, which is a phenomenal card. So maybe this is somebody who's not quite yet in your life. Kind of, this is saying you're kind of inward, you're kind of focusing on yourself. And sometimes, frankly, that's when you might attract somebody, right? You're focusing on yourself. You're spending some time alone. You're looking and reflecting and thinking about improving who you are, improving your life, improving your points of view, and that sort of thing. That's a great time to attract somebody. It's a great way to attract somebody. The Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is, this is, wands are all about energy and passion. Now look at this one from the Robin Hood deck. This one here, again, we come back to the sunflowers. Again, sunflowers being drawn to the energy and to the heat. So the fact that you have a card represented with sunflowers, as does your person in the sun card, tells me that there's a connection between the two, right? This card is often called the sex card, and if you look at it, you might see why. It's a birth of passion. It's passionate energy. It's excitement. So, maybe you're feeling particularly sexy, particularly attractive at the time. And if and when you connect with this person, I shouldn't say when you connect with this person, there might be some strong sexual energy and attraction there. Great to know, right? That's one of the big things. How many times do you meet somebody and there's just no connection per se. There's nothing wrong with the person, of course. It's just there's no physical connection, chemistry, whatever you want to call it. This is chemistry. This is connection. This is sexual passion, extreme excitement. So to see this and this, I think is phenomenal. That's great. That is a great story between two people. That's a lot of energy. It's a lot of passion, a lot of excitement. So in terms of like, advice, outcome, whatever you want to think about, excuse me, we have the Lovers card. So lovers are represented by Gemini, right? So this could be someone who's a Gemini. I'm a Gemini. But it's also just like a very strong connection, right? And you kind of balance each other out. This is what this is telling me. What do you need to know about this relationship, maybe? You and this person are going to balance each other out. Just as we have the sun and the moon here represented, kind of like with, presumably, like, I don't know, Adam and Eve, maybe perhaps here, is represented as well. The man and the woman. He's got blonde hair. She's got brown hair. He's holding the sun. She's holding the moon. So it's opposites. Maybe opposites attract, but it could also, I view it more as like balance. The way they kind of get their arms out, it kind of looks like scales, right? So it's, you kind of balance each other out. Maybe one is more outgoing, one is more introverted, but it's a great balance. And find ways to do that, right? So when you meet somebody, or you're connecting with somebody, find ways you can kind of introduce them to new things while also allowing yourself to be introduced to new things by this particular person. If you were looking for this to become like a marriage, this is saying this is a marriage, right? This could lead to marriage. It could it could also teach you a lot too, right? The Hierophant in this context, I would say, could very well be representative of a marriage. It can also be representative of like teachings too, right? And traditions. It could be, this is somebody from whom you learn a lot. But it could also be, given the fact that it's paired with this, or that it fell in line with this, tells me it could very well be a marriage. It could very well be a long-term relationship. Maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be a formal marriage, right? But it could feel like a marriage. You might fall into that, like, geez, I feel like we've been like married for years. And the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is like the new beginning. It's a new beginning, and like it's the birth of an idea. It's the birth of, I think this is saying too, this is the birth of like a new beginning. You're able to connect and socialize, but also you communicate effectively. So this is a new communication, a new way, a new beginning in a relationship where you communicate effectively with one another. That's what I get when I see this. But also, look at all the white there, right, in the sky. A lot of purity, I think, is kind of what I glean from that. But also just like clarity, too. So clarity, and just looking at this particular person, being like, oh my God, this is the person. Like, you're going to start to see clearly, like, this is what I've been looking for. And this particular person has all of these things that make me feel really, really good. And then as far as the outcome, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess, I mean, hey, this is all about just like, a High Priestess, I always think of like intuition, just going within, right? Being in touch with your inner being, being in touch with yourself, being in touch with your thoughts and ideas. Allow yourself to maybe kind of, what I'm thinking is, allow yourself to dream about the possibilities. It just kind of comes to me. Think about the possibilities as you kind of connect with this person, and as the relationship evolves. Dream about the possibilities, and you may see those, slowly come into your reality if you allow them to. And I think that really anything is possible here, especially given like the strength of you and this other person. Again, I think these three cards. These three cards, I mean, them and you, this is pretty phenomenal. This is pretty amazing. I'm most excited about the Sun card with the Ace of Wands. But I'm equally excited about the Nine of Cups for you, and then the Six of Wands for them. Now, again, this could be same sex, different sex, male, female. This is just your person. So whoever you could be looking to attract. This could very well, apply to them. So again, I don't think this person is probably in your life quite yet. But when they come, it's not going to be like too subtle. I think it's going to be, you're going to feel the energy, you're going to feel the passion, you're going to feel that passion, and you're going to know. So anyway, this is an exciting time. I would say, put yourself in the experiences and in the places where you could meet this particular person. If you haven't already, maybe you have met them, maybe it's going to evolve. Passion doesn't necessarily have to be like a spark right off the bat. It can ignite as we begin to know somebody and feel a connection to them. So anyway, certainly drop any questions or comments down below. I'm interested to hear if any of this resonates with you, and we will connect with you in a few days for your weekly reading. Thanks so much.